Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel where I share weekly tips and how-tos on finance and investing. So we've talked about why I invest, how to start investing. So today it's time to talk about how to select the right broker for you. First things first, the broker needs to be an online broker. You don't want to have to ring people or send emails or any of that sort of stuff. You just want to be able to jump online, log in, and make your purchases. So we're going to trade online. So now, what do you actually want to trade online? If you want to trade stocks, that's quite simple. If you want to trade in currency or something else, then you need to just make sure that your broker that you're selecting is going to allow you to do that. And after we've selected that, what markets do we want to trade in? So do you want to trade in your local market? So for me, that's Australia. Do you want to trade in the US markets, the Japanese markets, or the UK markets? So you just need to also check, does the broker that you are looking at allow you to trade in international markets as well as the domestic markets? So we know what, we know where, now we need to know how often. If you're going to just do a buy and hold strategy, brokerage fees aren't going to be too much of an issue because you're trading and then you're holding. Whereas if you want to day trade or you want to trade more frequently, then the fees are going to add up very quickly because every time you buy and sell, you have to pay the fees. Not only do you have to pay fees for every purchase or sale that you make, the fees change depending on the amount you are buying or selling. So now that we are aware that we have to pay every time we buy and every time we sell, how much do you want to actually invest each time? So if I make 2 purchases, I've got to pay brokerage fees twice. If I make one larger purchase, but maybe less frequently, then I only have to pay 1 lot of brokerage fees, but I get the same amount of shares. So there's nothing at all wrong with trading frequently. You just need to be aware that the fees will build up. So if you're with an expensive online broker, it's going to cost a lot more than if you move to a cheaper broker. So what features do you want your broker to have? Because the level of features will have an impact on price. Do you want just basic information, or do you want in-depth information on the stocks or the funds or the market at any particular point in time? So these extra features might be share trackers, valuations, news feeds, recommendations, or anything like that. So the more that is on offer, the more it's generally going to cost. So if you're trading infrequently or doing smaller trades, then you don't necessarily need all the bells and whistles. So a low fee firm is probably a great idea for you. Whereas if you want all of the research information, all of the recommendations, evaluations, then you're going to be paying more, and that's just something you have to wear because you get all the extra services. So we've talked fees and fees and fees, and the likelihood is your decision is going to come down to fees and what you're willing to pay. You may want all the bells and whistles but not want to pay for it, so you're going to go with a cheaper broker. First thing to check regarding fees is just your brokerage fees. So that's your buy and sell costs. That one's pretty simple. It's well advertised. The next one is your monthly or your inactivity fees. So some, but not all, will charge a monthly fee or a quarterly fee if you're not trading very often. And that can rack up the costs if you just want to do a buy and hold strategy. Now, if you've decided that you want to trade in the international markets, it's a good idea to have a look at what the foreign exchange fees are, because this can reduce the amount that you have left to trade with. And finally, are there deposit or withdrawal fees? So this is just one that may catch you out. A lot that I've looked at don't have these fees, but it's just worth looking just to make sure you don't get caught out. So now that we've run through a few things that you need to look at in terms of actually picking your online broker, let's have a look at a few different ones that are available in Australia. So the first being SelfWealth. Now SelfWealth is one of the cheapest that I've seen. It is $9.50 per trade and there are no monthly fees. IG Trading is another one that I have used and their fees are very low. You've got $8 Australian for Australian trades, and then internationally it is 10 units of whatever currency you're buying in. So if you're buying in the US, it's 10 US dollars. If you're buying in the UK, it's £10. IG do have a monthly inactivity fee though. So if you were to buy your shares and then just leave them sitting there for, I think it's 24 months, then you will start being charged $18 every month just for having your shares sitting there and not doing anything with them. So Commsec are a very popular one in Australia. They offer a large number of services and give you a lot of good information. Now they charge $10 per trade for domestic shares up to $1,000. And then from $1,001 to $10,000, it's $19.95, and it increases again beyond that. Now, international shares with Commsec are a different story. They can be valued at anywhere between 20 and 65 US dollars per trade, which can get very expensive, especially when the Australian dollar is not trading so well against the US dollar. Commsec also have no monthly account keeping fees. However, your international accounts will be charged an inactivity fee of $25. The next one on the list for me is NABTrade. So NABTrade are the ones I currently use, and that is because there's a good balance between fees and convenience. NABTrade charge $14.95 up to $5,000, and then it increases to $19.95. And NABTrade also have no monthly or inactivity fees. Now, just to round out the big four in Australia, Westpac and ANZ, they charge roughly $20 per trade, and this increases much the same as the others that we've discussed as well. So the fees are always subject to change, as with anything, so it's worth, after you've picked, just go back and have a look every so often and make sure the fees aren't changing and you're still happy, or check some others and make sure you're still happy paying what you are with your current broker. If another company's changed their fees and they offer a better service, then it's worth looking at changing. And that's it for choosing the right broker for you. It's really simple, and it predominantly comes down to what fees and what services you want. So in summary, what do you want to trade? So stocks, bonds, whatever. Where do you want to trade? So do you want to trade domestically, internationally? How much do you want to trade? So that comes down to what dollar value do you want to use each trade, because that will affect the fees you're paying. And then it's how often do you want to trade? So if you're trading frequently, your fees are going to add up. If you're trading infrequently, then it's probably not so much of an issue. And then ultimately, how much do you want to pay? So your brokerage fees and your monthly fees, inactivity fees, all that sort of stuff. That's it. Cheers. Bye.